Good evening, everyone. Let's start our obsession call with our innovative invocation. This is who we are. We are a team, talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. We can do anything and everything. We talk, we care, we respect each other. We see beauty in everything. We are connected by hearts and driven by values. We celebrate each other. We provide value to each other. We take ownership in everything we do. We have freedom to make mistakes. We learn as we go. We are mad to make a difference. We love disruptive ideas. We make impossible things possible. We are strong to question the creation. We believe in dreaming big. If we do not dare to dream big, are we really living? Why be ordinary when we can be extraordinary? We should be driven by our goals, not by egos. We can do it, we will do it. Let us not hope for the best, let us be the best. This is who we are. Mission: unique we are, inspired the world is, disruptive we are. Vision: we believe in being ourselves and believing our abilities up to 100% by celebrating moments. We aspire to be in the top 0.001% of the happiest people in this world. Values: respect oneself and others, see beauty in oneself and in others, see greatness in oneself and in others. Hey, oh, talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. Welcome to our Twinkling Tuesday, my Thop stars. A warm welcome to the ordinary people with extraordinary mindsets. Most of my Thop stars know who I am, but still to the ones who don't know me, I'm your Niveditha, in pause currently, but ready to pursue BTech Chemical Engineering second semester in first year from the University College of Technology, Usmania University. I was thinking right from Sunday to choose a particular topic, and many topics came into my mind, but I wasn't ready to do anything. Just this morning, I woke up with a thought. Yes, it was a thought. Then it became my choice. And now it became my topic to speak in our Twinkling Tuesdays Thop University call, shortly abbreviated as Triple T call. So, coming to my topic today. For today's Triple T call, I've chosen the Triple F topic. I am a movie lover. Watching movies isn't just my hobby, it's like a part of my daily routine. So, to the movie lovers among our top stars, don't mistake it for F3 movie directed by Anil Ravipudi. But Nivi's F3 is something different. So, Nivi's F3 is fighting fears with faith. What? Fighting fears? Are they people on the battlefield to fight against? Okay, for little time, let's assume that we have decided to fight our fears. But still, what is the weapon with which we have to fight with? Is it faith? Is it a sword or a shield to fight with? How does it serve as a weapon? Think about these questions and I'll give my perspectives at the end of the call. But before that, I wanted to talk about the perspectives I hold towards fear and faith. So coming to fears. So many of us have heard this word and many of us have experienced this word, right? So we all have fears. Fears of not giving our best, fears of expressing, fears of suffering, fear of hurts, fear of losing our loved ones, fear of becoming the person we thought we shouldn't be, or it's just the fear of not being you. So many fears, and we think that there are no answers. In my opinion, I feel that fear is not based on the situations or circumstances we face. It is the way in which we perceive the situations, the thoughts we create, and the images we build in our mind regarding the situations we face creates something called as fear. I heard this from a great person whose words inspire me a lot. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. So, hey, my dear Thop stars, cheer up. Guess what the good news is? Fear is not in that 10%, it belongs to the 90%. So, fear is not a part of our life, it's just a part of our reaction. It is just a reaction, and whose reaction? It is your reaction. And another good news for my Thop stars is that fear becomes powerless without your reaction towards it. There's the saying that goes like this, that actions sound more louder than words. So thinking of fears or thinking of how to overcome these fears will not at all help in fighting these fears, but the actions or the steps we take towards fighting these fears will definitely help us in fighting and overcoming these fears as well. So I believe that we shouldn't just face our fears, but we should fight our fears. The fears which we don't fight today become our limitations and obstacles for tomorrow. So this fear refrains us from trying to achieve something which we have wished for or which we have wanted to. I believe that this fear is a temporary reaction, but the regret that comes out from not even trying, it is forever. It haunts us forever. And yes, it is an obvious question that comes to our mind, or that pops up in our mind, saying, what if I fail? If we wanted to try to achieve what we have desired for. And if you never responded to that doubt, I would like to interfere, and I would like to respond to the thought in your mind saying that, what if I fail? Okay, I heard it. But what if I fly? Do you accept it? And most of the times it's not the future that we are afraid of, but it's the fear of the past. We think that it might repeat itself that troubles us the most. Remember that consequences are not in our hands, but the choice of trying is definitely in your hands. So for this reaction called fear, let faith be your decision. Some fear the fiery situations around them, while some become the fire to consume the fear. The choice is yours. And who knows, the cave you're fearing to enter or you're afraid to enter might hold the treasure you're seeking for. And sometimes the fears that we think are binding us are actually the fears that will set us free if we fuel it with some faith. So let the choices that you make in life be based on the faith that you have in yourself and your capabilities, and not the fear you have created regarding the situations you are facing. Fear is nothing but false evidences appearing real. They appear so real that you begin to forget about the conqueror who is hidden within you, and you forget the potential of the conqueror who is hidden within you. I would like to tell a secret to my dearest Thop stars, which I found out during my little experience of life, which is, fear goes only to those places where it is invited. And if you don't want to invite it, then don't invite it. There's absolutely no problem with that. And never trust your fears, because they don't know about your strengths, potentials, and capabilities. Never let your fear of what could happen if I choose this decision make you so helpless that you don't even choose a decision, or you refuse to choose a decision. And now I would like to take you all back to the time of India's freedom struggle in a time machine called imagination, when I and my parents were not born. Maybe it's the time when my grandparents lived. So India's freedom struggle, which we have read in probably in 9th and 10th class history textbooks. So the personalities that comes to my mind when I say India's freedom struggle, like Bhagat Singh, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Subhash Chandra Bose, Chandrasekhar Azad, and many more. They are same like us, but what makes the world to remember them and honor their deeds is that they fought their fears, they raised their voices, they roared like lions, which led to our present way of living. They are remembered not for their deaths, but for their way of living. And we are the ones who are experiencing the fruits of their fearless acts. And just imagine how wonderful miracle it would be if we become fearless, if we fight our fears, and if we win against our fears. And another powerful person, Nelson Mandela, who was initially opposed to violence, but after looking at the brutal killings of the Black South Africans in 1962, he began advocating acts of revolts against the government. The same year, he was arrested and sentenced to imprisonment. But that fear of imprisonment did not stop him from fighting against the inhuman political system that was being meted out to the blacks in South Africa. He became the president of South Africa at the age of 75, the age which many people consider as weak, the age which many people perceive as the age which is meant only to sit at home and rest. But he became the president of South Africa. From his story, I've learned that when you have faith in yourself, when you have faith in your capabilities, and when you have faith in your intentions, age is just a number. And a sweet advice to my dearest Thop stars is that if you are right in your own way, and if you perceive yourself right in your own way, don't discern to what the negatives around you say. Great people, great poets like Rabindranath Tagore, Sarojini Naidu, Sri Sri, we remember their poems and writings still today because they did not let the fears stop them from writing to create that revolutionary mindsets in the minds of people. So what I have understood from these great revolutionaries is that the moment when they kept a full stop to their fears is the moment when their lives began. Similarly, when you keep an end to your fears and when you step out of your fear zone is when your life begins. The moment when your fears end is when your freedom begins. The moment when your fears end is when your heart begins experiencing. The moment when your fears end is when your mind starts expressing. The moment when your fears end is when your faith begins. So don't fear the mighty storms that come in midst of your situation. It is said that greater your storm is, the brighter your rainbow will be. If you're passionate about something and you're trying extensively for that, but you're not able to achieve it or failing every time, don't worry. Remember that from hurting failures comes mighty learnings. So fear stops us from living the life that we are meant to live. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have fears. We should have fears. Yes, you heard me right. We should have fears. In fact, these fears make us famous. Yes, fighting our fears make us famous. The fears you built or created in your mind helps you to know the world and the worldly ways, and the way in which you fight your fears makes the world know about you. Fight your fears in such a way that the world gets inspired and learns from you. So this fear is like a virus that has only one antidote called faith. Now let's start talking about faith. Again, the same views. Everyone has experienced faith, and everyone will experience faith, and everyone has heard the word faith. The questions or the opinions that come to my mind whenever I talk about faith or whenever I think about faith is that what part does faith actually have to make everything fall at the right place? And why is that when doctors fail to treat a certain condition, all they say is have faith or hope for the best? So I started trying to find answers for these questions. And in one book called The Power of Subconscious Mind, which was written by Joseph Murphy, it is written that faith is one of the ways to talk or converse with our subconscious mind. And in another book, it is written that faith is the substance of the things that's hoped for and the evidence of the things that are not seen. Like we don't see it, but we believe it. That's when faith is born. In my opinion, faith is like the moon that gives light in our dark situations, along with the stars called hope. For instance, if I'm stuck in a tough situation which is very displeasing to me or very painful to me, it is the faith that I have in myself, I have in my capabilities, is what brings me out of the situation. And the darker your situation is, the brighter the star residing in you will shine. So faith has many definitions from different perspectives, and every definition or every perspective are true or right in their own way. But the outcome it gives is same for everyone. Remember that faith is impartial. If it works for me, then it will definitely work for you. Faith doesn't see your imperfections. It doesn't judge you by the fears you have. It just needs your acceptance. Accepting the faith you have in yourself. That's it. And many of us, I mean, everyone in this call knows the importance of acceptance, right? So in everyone's life. So accept the faith in you have in yourself. So let your faith be bigger than your fears. And when it is so, even if your fears are as big as mountains, your faith will give you that courage to move those mountains as well. And it's a human tendency to get into a state of overloaded excitement when it comes to something called as free, right? Like, for example, if there's this offer that says buy one dress and get 3 dresses free, most of us, and especially the shopping lovers, would be tempted at this offer. And my mom, she would be the driving force to drag us into the shopping complexes and select dresses for us, irrespective of our willingness. And now I am going to tell you all, which is something like that, which is free. You need not pay a single penny to attain it, and there's no need for you to shed even a single drop of sweat to acquire it. And that is faith. Faith just needs you as the way you are. Acquire it, and you can do anything in life. Having faith in yourself makes you to expect more and more from yourselves. And this expectation results in the manifestation of your desired results. And just as we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide for our physical existence, in a similar way, inhale faith and exhale fear for the existence of the conqueror who is hidden within you. Fear and faith can never operate at the same place. Trials and temptations will arise, not to make you afraid, but to make you stronger. They shape your thinking and they build your character. I heard this when I was studying in my 9th class in the Merchant of Venice book written by William Shakespeare, which goes like this. Silver is refined 7 times in fire during the course of its preparation. And we humans are definitely more valuable than silver, isn't it? So if silver is refined 7 times in fire, how many times we humans who are more valuable than the silver should be refined through the trials and tests to attain that level of pureness, that level of courage and boldness to fight our fears. Remember that until you pass through a test, you can never have a testimony. And there is no pain that comes to us without a purpose. Every pain teaches us something that transforms us into a stronger and a better person. I'm not saying that faith makes things easy, but it makes us perceive that everything is possible under the sky. So faith is believing in what you cannot see. So don't mistake this faith as an act of blindness, but it is an act of belief. If you have faith in yourself, your imperfections, your limitations, your obstacles will become the steps under your feet, helping you to elevate to the topmost position which you have desired for. And having faith in yourself helps you believe that you aren't just a part of the universe, but there is a tiny little mighty universe that is hidden within you. So I wanted to tell you 2 statements which really have a greater impact on me. So it goes like this. The strength of a tree depends on the strength of its root. The strength of a building depends on the strength of its foundation. So from these 2 statements, we can see that that the things which we cannot see holds the strength of the things that we can see. Similarly, the strength of you depends on the faith you have in your hidden potentials and your hidden abilities. So this triple F, fighting your fears with faith, is a choice. Choose it, make your decision, and act upon it. And you'll never have to look back. And one day, you'll be glad and proud of yourself that you didn't give up and have achieved victory over your fears. And coming to the questions I've raised at the beginning of the call, I asked whether fears are the people on the battlefield to fight against, and is faith is really a weapon to kill the fears. Yes, I believe that fear is a more dangerous and a mighty enemy than the people who are in the battlefield, and the only weapon to fight against it and win against it is faith. And guess where the battlefield is? It's nowhere better than the powerhouse of a human being, which is the mind. So choose this triple F and fight your fears with faith. We have talked a lot about fear and faith. Fear has a lot of strength to limit us, and faith also has a lot of strength to make us do the impossible things. But they're incomplete without our action on them. We have to act according to the choice we have chosen between fear or faith. And that action is the fight in this context to fear and faith. I believe extensively in this equation, which goes like this. Actions plus words is equal to wonders. The universe doesn't give what you ask for in thoughts, but it gives what you demand with your actions. Quoted by Steve Maraboli. Yes, I believe without actions, words become directionless. Action shows those things which words can't express. So let me take my personal examples. Personal example. So my siblings, they never told me that they love me, or they never expressed that they have care for me, concern for me. In fact, they irritate me. They irritate me. They literally become the cause of my headache every day. But the moment I feel sad is the moment they become warriors against my sadness and protectors of my happiness. They never ask whether I'm sad or I'm not feeling okay. They come, they share the happiness, and again starts the task of irritation. So this small yet significant experience made me believe that actions sound louder than words. So actions speak what words can't express. So in this context of fear and faith, action is fighting, and the words that are in front of you are fear and faith. And the result is not just a miracle, but a wonder. The world will be glancing at us like that. So I would like to conclude with a poem, not actually a poem, a articulation, if I might call it so. So I'm leaving it to the top stars. So I wrote on the topic significance of that alphabet F in our lives. So it goes like this: freedom and fame can't be pronounced without that letter F. Flowers can't give their fragrance without that letter F. Fantasies and fascinations are incomplete without that letter F. Faith and fear become senseless without that letter F. You can't define whether you're a fierce or a fragile person without that letter F. Freshness can't give you refreshment without that letter F. Future has no meaning without that letter F. Fortunes and favorites cannot be begun without that letter F. Festivals we celebrate with families are incomplete without that letter F. Forgiveness, which is a brave choice that makes our life beautiful, cannot have its impact without that letter F. And finally, life becomes a lie without that letter F. So make best use of that letter F in your life, and you'll never have to look down or look back in your life. So thank you so much, Thop Stars, for your patient listening. And a very big thank you for listening to this crazy poem or crazy articulation with so much patience, my Thop family.